Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. It is a rare day today. That is because I have never before spoken the words Madagascar Orange as I introduce a car in one of our videos. This is an SVO Palette colour from Special Vehicle Operations, the secretive division within Jaguar, who take their already magnificent road vehicles and make them into special high-performance vehicles for the discerning driver. And one of their inputs to the F-Type programme was a range of colours at considerable extra cost, including this unbelievably gorgeous aesthetic. Not only then Madagascar Orange, but black pack. Black 20-inch Tornado wheels. The design pack in body colour. That's an important thing because that adds a very special look to this car. And then take in that it is a P380. It's all-wheel drive. The specification and options list is fabulous, the mileage is low, and the condition, of course, because it's a sports and touring car, is simply fabulous. I am very excited indeed to show you around this beautiful Jaguar. This is a very difficult colour to describe. In some respects, it reminds me of the shining orange and yellow elements of a particularly spectacular sunrise or sunset. It is one of those colours which shows off the form and shape of the F-Type absolutely splendidly. Look at the way that the shape of the power bulge on the bonnet there is reflected in the paint, and the light bounces off it in the most extraordinarily attractive way. And the same is true all around the car. The form and dimensions and design features of the F-Type bodywork look just utterly brilliant in this fabulous paint. And as I say, the design pack, side skirts, front and rear splitters, also in body colour. Often I would be a fan of having those in black with black pack, but actually with the weight of the Tornado wheels assisting this car's look, having the design pack in body colour is absolutely the right thing to do. And then we come round to the rear of the car, those haunches over the rear wheels that show you that this is a powerful machine which requires wide tyres living in wide arches to deliver the horsepower onto the tarmac. And as ever, it's the details that make the F-Type look so utterly beguiling. The badges, the twin chrome tailpipes, the Jaguar Leaper logo there on the deployable spoiler, and of course the badge that says P380 AWD there on the offside beneath that beautiful light cluster. They are all punctuation marks around this very stunning look. And as I say, the condition of this vehicle is just wonderful. It is pretty well as it left the factory. There are no blemishes, no marks, no deficiencies anywhere. Indeed, quite the reverse. The brake calipers, for example, have been finished in this beautiful burnt gold colour, very close to Madagascar Orange, but not quite Madagascar Orange. They are in fabulous condition. The front calipers have the Jaguar name in script, and the rear calipers, perhaps you can just see there, have the Leaper logo on them. The specification of this car has been very carefully put together, both in terms of aesthetics and equipment. And that is where we're going to investigate next, where all the equipment lives, of course, in the cockpit. The car will be supplied, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, but there's no need to have the key fob in your hand because one of the extra cost options on this F-Type is keyless entry and start, so just tap the button there. The car has already detected the key is nearby and the door unlocks, the power fold mirrors move out into position, and we can look into this beautiful cockpit. All finished in jet, of course, with jet stitching, these beautiful facelift performance seats look wonderful, and they are immensely comfortable. They hug you sufficiently to be secure while you're driving enthusiastically, but they are so comfortable for a long drive as well. Marvellous design, and we get great feedback from people about these seats. Looking at the door card, I hope you can see that it is in fabulous condition, unblemished, unmarked, precisely as it left the factory. You can see here we've got the 12-way memory seat package on this car, another extra cost option, and the Meridian sound system badge is there as well. Panning around, we have the R-Dynamic badge there on the tread plate, and then we can sit down into this beautiful space. And the point I always make here is that the F-Type cockpit is a marriage between technology and artistry. The way that the design manages to please the eye and the touch is wonderfully combined with excellent ergonomics, fabulous control layout, and that all adds up to a tremendous experience here in the driving seat. Looking around in a little more detail, between the seats there, we've got a handy little stowage pouch. Down here, we've got the center armrest. Lift that up, and you can see we have a 12-volt socket, micro SIM socket for the infotainment, and a pair of USB sockets so that you can plug your devices in and charge them. Forward of there, we've got the twin cup holders, of course, with the little recess that takes one of the small drinks cans that you see so often these days. And then to explore further, we'll fire up the supercharged V6. So my foot is on the brake pedal, and by the way, you can see down there, I hope, if I pan the camera around, that we have the stainless steel pedal set in this car. Foot's on the brake pedal, finger on the start button, and there we go. You see the instrument binnacle do its self-test flying display. The centre air vent is rising up into position. The exhaust note changed there as the exhaust valves closed, and in a couple of moments the RPM will drop, the revs will drop. They're higher at the moment to protect the catalytic converter during startup, and they will drop to the normal RPM, in fact, just now. Once the car's warm, it starts up at the normal idle RPM, of course. Okay, back to the centre console. We've got the button for the switch for the roof here. I'll come back to that in a moment or two. We've got the Eco Stop Start Defeat, the rear spoiler button. So if I press that once, you'll see the spoiler come up like so, and press and hold it again while we're stationary, the spoiler goes down. And important to do that, of course, if you're cleaning the car, to make sure the area under the spoiler gets some attention. Then traction control off, and the button for the switched active sports exhaust. Those valves in the exhaust which give you a throatier exhaust note. Here we've got the electronic parking brake switch. Goes on like that. Comes off automatically as you drive away. No need to do anything with that switch as you drive off. It will take care of itself. We've got the on-off button and volume control for the media there. And then this beautiful shift stick. It really is such a tremendous piece of design. Falls perfectly into the hand. It looks great. There's a trigger on the front there which activates the shift stick, and we can put it into drive like so, and then we can move it sideways like that into sports gearbox mode, which gives you a shift that maintains higher RPM. It makes the car more capable of instant acceleration throughout the speed range. And of course, in sports gearbox mode, we can shift up and down manually using the shift stick like so. You've always got, naturally, the paddles on the steering wheel, which you can shift with as well. I prefer those because then I keep my hand on the wheel while I'm manoeuvring the car and shifting, and that is the best way to maintain perfect control. Back over to the shift stick again, and on the top there is the park button, like so. And then next to the shift stick, the all-important driving mode selector. So at the moment we're in standard driving mode. We can go forward like so into rain, ice and snow mode, and there we have a little message on the dash, rain, ice and snow mode confirmed. And this calms the car down very considerably. Although it's all-wheel drive, it is a powerful sports car with wide, low-profile tyres, and that means it's not optimised for driving in winter conditions. Rain, ice and snow mode calms things down, particularly the throttle map, very considerably, and makes driving in slippery road conditions much easier. We come back from there into standard driving mode, and then rearwards again into dynamic driving mode. And you see there the dash has illuminated red. We have dynamic mode confirmed. And this is what I call tutti frutti driving mode. The throttle map, the suspension, the gearbox map are all optimized, and the steering is optimized as well for a more engaging dynamic driving experience. And it also opens the twin exhaust valves, as you can see there. Okay, we'll move up now to the climate control, or HVAC we should call it these days. And here we've got the auto button for climate, and then air conditioning, HVAC, heating, ventilation and air conditioning. Auto button, air conditioning, the timed recirculation button. We've got the hazard warning light switch conveniently in the middle, and then another extra cost option in this car is the electrically heated front windscreen, which sits between the front windscreen demist and the rear window demist, like so. Then we've got the dual zone climate, so passenger can dial in their temperature there, driver dials in his or her temperature here, and the car will keep the two compartments at the temperatures selected. Obviously, you can't have 16 one side and 30 the other. That wouldn't work. But it is surprisingly effective if one person finds it a bit too warm and the other doesn't. It's a great technical solution to that. And in the middle there, we've got the centre button, which is the manual fan control, and also the auto on-off too. Above there we come to the infotainment display. Now it's going to be difficult with the lights in here to show this clearly, but I will do my best. This is the home screen. We've got our hot buttons along the bottom here, and we can see, for example, top left there we have media. I'll turn that on and tap on it, and you will see, I didn't tap quite firmly enough, you'll see that we've got at the moment 6 music, DAB radio station. Sources, we've got radio, which is AM and FM and DAB, as you see there, and other sources we can have at the moment are online and Bluetooth. So because there's a phone connected, we could use the phone to play music, Spotify, BBC Sounds, whatever you like, through the system, like so. Back to the home screen. There's our Bluetooth phone selection. Very crisp and clear, easy to make and receive calls in the F-Type. The microphone and speaker system are great. Back from here to the climate section, and here you can direct the airflow around the car as you wish it to be, and also, as you'll see now, synchronize the two temperature selectors there when you wish to. Back to the home screen again, and here we've got satellite navigation. Very bright screen this, it may be difficult to see in the video. There's no one signed into the car at the moment, so it says hello new profile, but whoever purchases the car will sign in and be able to have a subscription for In Control, the Jaguar app as well, if they wish. But nonetheless, it all works, so we can zoom in and out, we can put a destination in and all of those kinds of things. It's a good, crisp, clear system that works well, and we get good feedback from people. Other options on this car, we've got the In Control apps, of course, we've got valet mode, and I will show you as well the reversing camera. It is beautifully clear. At the moment there's some condensation coming out of the exhaust, and that is why you can see some kind of steam rising up, but it's a very clear picture. You get the tram lines showing you where the vehicle is going to go and where the sides of the vehicle are going to go, and that moves. If I move the steering wheel, you'll see them move around correspondingly like so, and it makes manoeuvring the F-Type into a parking space very easy indeed. And of course you've also got the parking sensors there, and they're replicated as well on screen here. Okay, back to the home screen, and we'll come over to the steering wheel. We've got two thumb clusters. The left thumb cluster is the infotainment controls and Bluetooth telephony button. Over on the right thumb cluster, we've got the cruise control and active speed limiter. And to go with the heated seats, which forgive me, didn't show you, so we'll come back here and press the button there, and you'll see 3-stage electric heating and 3-stage air conditioning cooling of the seats. So brilliant in warm weather in the summer, you can cool down very effectively, and vice versa using the heated and cooled seats. And similarly in the winter, whenever I'm in a car with heated steering wheel through the winter, I switch it on straight away, and it makes the drive so much more pleasurable. And then on the left hand stalk here we've got the automatic headlamps, and the indicators and trip computer button on the end, and on the right hand stalk the controls for the rain sensitive wipers. And then I'm going to carefully position the camera down here to show you this little cluster of buttons, which is the boot release, the lane keep assist button, rear fog light, and the dimmer switch for the instrument binnacle. All very well laid out, crisp and clear, and I hope you can see as well, not only is this a beautifully designed cockpit, but this one has been so diligently cared for. Everything is in fabulous order, no wear in any of the places you might expect to find it. There are no marks, no blemishes. It really is in truly fabulous condition. Okay, that's a tour of the cockpit then. Let's look next at the operation of the roof, and I'm just going to turn the camera around like so that you can watch what happens as I operate the roof to close it. So I'm just going to pull and hold the close button. You can see the little covers move out of the way of the roof either side of its stowage. The roof folds over the top of the car like so. It latches fully automatically into the top of the windscreen, and the windows come up, and in only a very few seconds we are ready to go through the rain shower that we've just spotted ahead. Conversely, we've gone through the rain shower, we've either come to a stop at a traffic light maybe, or we can do this at up to 30 miles an hour. We can lower the roof, and I push down on the switch, the windows roll down, the roof unlatches and folds itself away into its stowage behind the cockpit, and those little covers move into position. Then the windows complete the sequence by coming up into the closed position as well. Very quick to operate, very simple mechanism compared to many. It's an incredibly reliable system. We have never had a problem with an F-Type convertible roof, and so it ticks all of my boxes really for convertible roofs. Okay, we'll switch the engine off and take a look next in the boot. Some unkind things have been said about the F-Type boot, not least by a certain very well-known motoring pundit and farmer. But let's just put some of those straight now. Lifting the boot lid, and by the way, you can unlock either with the remote fob or with the button on the boot lip just there. And you can see actually quite a large space. A space that extends a considerable distance forward under where the roof is stowed, and indeed out to the sides. And that means that although the space is a little limited, it is enough for at least a couple of weeks away without having to wash your smalls in the hotel bathroom sink. And particularly if you are going touring in the F-Type, I would recommend a bespoke luggage set. Either you can have one made new, or you can pick them up on eBay and other places by people like the very excellent Bag World, which not only will give you luggage that fills the space and uses the space completely and efficiently, but also looks absolutely brilliant as you walk up to your hotel at the end of the day's driving. You can see, by the way, everything in this boot is just as it should be. It's all crisp and clean, no nasty marks, no odours, I can tell you. Clearly, this car has been looked after as much in the boot as it has everywhere else. And coming round now to the passenger side, we can look at that beautiful Jaguar logo there on the door handle and open the door to see that the door card is in pristine condition. The tread plate with the R-Dynamic logo there is perfect, and the dashboard, carpet and mat, centre console and this beautiful performance seat are all in excellent order, unblemished, unmarked, nothing whatsoever to tell you that this isn't a much newer or indeed brand new vehicle. We have one final place to stop on our tour, and that is there in the most important place of all, under the bonnet. So there it is under that big bonnet, the engine cover, under which of course is the supercharger, under which we find the V6 3-litre power plant, producing 380 PS and driving this beautiful Jaguar from 0 to 60 in just 4.9 thrilling seconds, and on to a top speed artificially limited at 171 miles per hour. But as I always say, impressive as those numbers are, this isn't a numbers vehicle. This is a feelings and emotions vehicle. It's about the experience that you will have sitting there in the driver's seat with your hands and feet on the controls, and the connection that you feel between your control inputs and thoughts that are driving them and your vehicle and the road beneath it and your journey. And that is what the F-Type does so spectacularly well. It delivers that emotional connection, that dynamic relationship, the most thrilling experience as an owner, I can say. People who have these cars speak so fondly of them, and that is why the F-Type has such a following. And that's why also we specialise in them. It's just such a wonderful vehicle to be associated with, and we love them and know them very well. And you can see under the bonnet here everything in perfect order, crisp and clean, nothing remarkable. Excellent main dealer and independent specialist service history on this car. It is driving perfectly in every respect and is waiting to utterly thrill not only its next keeper, but I'm sure those who are lucky enough to see it passing by them on the road. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It has been an enormous pleasure to show you this beautiful Jaguar F-Type. We're Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you've got any questions about the car, or if you'd like to arrange to see it either in person or by video viewing. It'll be a pleasure to send you a link to the Google Drive. That's our online folder with higher resolution photographs which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. If you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we'll give you frank and honest advice about the best way to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you'd like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of the things our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thank you again. Feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and I will look forward to hearing from you very soon. Contact details coming next.